This is the one with the Genesis arc.
An order of sarcastic Daleks.
A time-travelling hand. Job.
Goofy 3D glasses.
And a Tyler family reunion at Bad Wolf Bay.
It's called Doomsday.
Here we go!
We're still on our endless voyage, all through time and all through space.
With Levine and Angels now, Daleks, Cybers, Zamdun, wow!
Tennant, Smith and Eccleston, Gallifrey, where it all began.
Doctor Who is cool again, that was Russell's master plan.
Who back when? Reviewing all new Who there is. Who back when?
Subscribe and rate on iTunes, please.
Rose and Donna, Amy Pond, Rory, Martha and beyond. Join us on this odyssey, what other choice could there be than Who back when? Who back when?
Welcome to N027 of Who Back When, a Doctor Who podcast.
Or Dog Post.
I am Nickel, or Nickel-Lely. In the corner we have...
Hello, I'm Pumpkin.
Yes, you are. And to his right we have the indelible...
Drew!
Duh.
And today we will be discussing Doomsday, the end and or demise of Rose Tyler.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, so she
Also the
says.
season 2 finale.
Yes, in the many years that have passed, I don't think I'm still over it. I think I might need to take a second. And we're over. Okay, shall we jump into the bite-sized chunk of Who?
Let's.
Bite-sized chunk.
We pick up where we left off in Army of Ghosts with the portentous voiceovers and yet another promise of this being the story of how Rose dies.
Cybermen have taken over, and the Daleks have emerged from the giant Maltese void ship of doom.
Daleks and Cybers aren't each other's biggest fans though, so what eventuates is the biggest smackdown in Whovian history.
B-Scout over.
You are welcome.
We start with the terrible monologue.
Yeah, which is essentially a rehash of the terrible monologue that started the first part of this double feature.
Absolutely, the silly soliloquy of Rose trying to describe with great gravitas the day, not the day, the story of how she dies.
See, is that really what she says though? Because I have a feeling that she goes, "This is the day that I die."
No, she says...
This is the story.
This is the story of how I died.
Yeah. Which,
That was a soundbite, by the
I
way.
mean, immediately, even when I watched it first time and again, set me up for, well, you're talking to me.
So
No.
how does
yeah,
this work?
yeah, this is just another, you're setting me up for another cop-out. Like, if you, well, do you know, it's not like a posthumous, like, you know, recanting of, obviously how would that even work? But I would take that as an idea.
Expectations lowered from the start then.
Lowered
the
from
only
the
way
start.
is up.
Yeah.
But also imagine if you're watching these two episodes back to back. Part 1 of this double feature, Army of Ghosts, ends bombastically. Tensions are running high, thumping music, everyone's screaming and shouting, people are being cybered.
Yep.
Cut 2, yeah, I'm dying now. The tempo has been lowered
Well,
incredibly.
I think maybe it's a writing attempt to kind of set it up for the, you know, for mostly for kids, to say, okay, we're going to say goodbye to Rose here, and it's like you're this great character over seasons, we're going to have to get rid of her, so get ready, because it's going to be it's going to be a pivotal point in your life. So it's like, no, you're fine.
By the end of it sort of feels like it a little bit.
I'll take that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But I think they're stretching with the beginning.
Yeah,
I think
and the
they're
road
reaching.
to that ending, holy crap.
Yeah.
I think in their defence, they do keep it very short. There isn't really a cold open scene. There's just a shot of a couple of seconds of Rose standing on the beach. The summary of the previous episode is actually very quick, and then you're launched into the theme tune.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
have
not
that
even really
couple of
a
scenes.
previously on Doctor Who. It's just
Yeah.
images in the background while she's talking about dying or
Yeah.
having died.
Yeah.
And then you're right back into the action.
Okay, I will take that.
Yeah.
By the way, I did check intro animation out of sync.
At last! You nearly blew it. This was your last chance.
Okay, so we're then into the action. Where do we start off with the action, Drew?
Well, we start off with Billy Piper doing an impression of David Tennant.
Oh, yes.
Addressing the Daleks.
Yeah.
And just delivering a few, you know, I'm clever and this is why you need to keep me alive lines. To me, it seemed exactly the way Tennant would deliver it.
Yeah.
And so...
Do you think that she did a good job of it?
I think so. I'm going to call that the I'm clever iceberg. That being that they say one, not even clever, but marginally clever thing to indicate some mass under the surface of cleverness that doesn't ever fucking materialise. right? That is a thing throughout the Tenant.
Or if it does, entirely by accident, not in the way they expect.
Absolutely.
They are taking
But it totally works in this case. It's just,
I get that.
I think it's a fair point. I mean, she basically just says, how do I know who you are? So now you can't kill me, because otherwise, that secret is going to die with me. I think that works.
No,
That's
it was
That
good,
is
and
enough.
actually it was really well delivered. Billy Piper actually acts her arse off in this. I think it's a good performance.
In that scene? Yeah, sure.
No, all right, we'll come back. We'll come back to this. It comes back around.
Sure.
But yes, I want to coin that. I want to call it the I'm Clever Iceberg. I think he'll make a couple of appearances.
Consider it coined.
I'd like to coin something else at this point.
Okay.
Before we even get going, really.
Go for it.
Is that I don't think exterminate actually means exterminate. Because whenever the Daleks shout exterminate, someone else shouts over them. The Daleks must have incredible listening skills, because they then hear them out, and then the Daleks just go along with whatever the person said. So exterminate actually means make us a counter-proposal! And that's exactly what happens here.
Meet us halfway.
Wasn't there, jumping forward in time, in part 2 of season 9, whatever we're at now, of New Who with Capaldi, in the second installment of the Davros serial, doesn't Missy explain that exterminate is actually just a way for them to sort of self-fuel? Like, they run on anger or something, and by shouting something negative, they're giving them... No, they're reloading their weapons, I think it was. That's how they fire their laser gun, by screaming exterminate.
With anger. That is, it's a good one, but then that's...
Also bullshit?
Yes, and especially for this group of writers for this serial. I think that's a great thing that the people in, for the Capaldi, right, that writing group have come up with to...
Really?
Yeah, to like, legitimise the last 50 years worth of shouting.
I 178% disagree. I think that's a shit way of explaining away 50 years of a catchphrase.
Sorry, I say great. I mean an attempt. Right? That's what I meant. Rather than 50 years of no attempts.
They're already polar opposites. They are looking at each other from afar.
But as opposed to 50 years of no attempt.
Okay, sure, fair enough.
I go with Nick. It was nice and insightful in the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So I can understand why they didn't murder Rose. Rose displayed that little bit of clever that might, keep her around. But the other two seem like fodder to me.
Yeah?
Yeah, and we do actually... That's exactly what happens with Mr. Brainwave, who is essentially just dehydrated at the end of it. We'll get to that. That's a few scenes away. You look like you're about to say something, Drew.
Well, I did some proper homework for this episode. I watched the season 1 finale.
Oh.
For comparison's sake.
Okay.
Partly because you and JD gave it a 5, and I was like, well, if that's a 5, then how the hell am I going to score this? Yeah, exactly. There's a moment in that where the TARDIS materialises in the giant spaceship, the head ship, and the second the TARDIS door opens, the Daleks are shouting exterminate and firing the fuck. They're firing everything at this door the second the Doctor appears.
Yeah.
But there's a force field in the way.
Yeah.
But that is one instance where they actually did what you'd expect and actually just get on and try to kill someone.
Agreed. In fact, they seem almost a little bit too cerebral in this episode. They shouldn't be hearing Rose out. They should just be going, well, fuck you, you're a threat. Exterminate.
But that is later explained in the episode, with these being special Daleks.
Yes, that's right. They are the cult of Skaro.
Yeah, they are Daleks that can think outside the dustbin.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, we should move on, I think. What's next up? Oh, we get the introduction of the Genesis arc.
Yeah. What the hell is that?
Yeah, what is the Genesis arc?
The most confusingly named thing that it turns out to be.
Yeah, it's the opposite of what it's called, yeah.
It's the absolute opposite.
It also looks like a laminated butt plug.
I mean, I don't know Judeo-Christian scripture particularly well, but those two words also seem
Genesis.
like not... I mean, they're related in the way that everything pre-Christ could just be...
They're in the Old Testament somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. The Genesis arc, Methuselah, Lilith.
Nebuchadnezzar.
It makes no sense. They're just old words, not even from your civilization.
Good point.
But it wasn't even from the Dalek civilization.
It was a Time Lord thingamajiggy.
But it was shaped like a Dalek, and it has a little blue light on it like a Dalek.
But
so what?
I think, I'm okay with that as well. Shall we spoil it? I mean, everyone's seen this episode. It's a Dalek prison, basically. It's a Time Lord prison for Daleks.
Yes.
So I think it kind of makes sense to brand the prison accordingly as well.
Right, so many things here. 100 things here. So yeah, I would get that, the branding the prison and actually just developing a prison specifically for this one type of thing.
Yeah.
Get that. Prisons, as I understand them, are a way of sectioning off people from society that have transgressed our rules, and with a hope or possibility of rehabilitation and or releasing back into society or whatever.
I don't think that's necessary in this case. I don't think you have to view them as potentially rehabilitated by Time Lords.
Well, no, exactly. I'm saying, what is the fucking point of this prison ship? Why keep them?
How about Mercy? You don't know what's inside there. I mean, we're jumping back and forth,
Sure.
but I mean, there's tons of space in there, right? That's the Time Lord technology aspect of it. They've folded space or whatever.
Sure.
There could be loads of speakers in there blasting out soothing whale music.
Exactly.
For thousands
It
of
could be
years.
like a Dalek paradise in there, and they just went, you know what? We're going to show Mercy. We just want the Daleks out of the way, so we're going to put them inside this Dalek-shaped butt plug box.
Yeah,
I get that.
and they can have their lives, and they won't bother us at all.
We're going to play videos 24/7 of hot Dalek on Dalek action.
Oh,
They're never
sexy.
going to want to come out.
I think the human in me wants to believe
Little
that, but
blobs.
I think everything hitherto, and once we go all the way through Classic, maybe we can corroborate or not, as it were. But I'm not sure any Time Lord so far that have come across a Dalek has felt anything in the way of mercy so far.
So are you suggesting what they should have done is they should have
Murdered
trapped
them all,
them
yes.
all there and then taken the butt plug and shot it into the sun? But what if there's some sort of interdimensional... Maybe the dimensions are going to crack again. What if you break something that is bigger on the inside? What happens then?
Instead of organise these things, make a ship, put them into the ship, just murder them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
And, even worse than that, why would you then put a Dalek plunger-faced interface on the outside of the Dalek
yes.
prison for them to plunge right onto?
Well, they do say that the ship itself can't be opened. It's to be opened with touch.
Yeah, they are very trusting of every time traveller ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Of which there are plenty.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, right,
I
whatever.
think we've
let's move on.
decided that what the hell is the Genesis arc? It's a crock of shit.
I think at this point we cut to the Doctor making a promise to Jackie that he cannot keep.
I'll find her. When I brought you here, I'll get you both out, you and your daughter. Jackie, look at me. Look at me. I promise you. I give you my word.
Almost the exact opposite of what he, as Eccleston, told Jackie in season 1, where he says, I can't save her. I cannot take responsibility for any of her actions. She's doing all this at her own risk, at her own peril, and she might die. Whereas here, he's saying the exact opposite to the exact same character.
In the worst possible situation.
Yeah. And very possibly he himself realizes that he's not going to be able to save her.
But you see, what happens is the Doctor is completely neutralised and rendered powerless by someone crying. Because I also want to say at this point, poor Jackie. The first 10 seconds of what she had to say in this episode, no actress could have delivered that well. She had to speak like a moron. It's like, Doctor, where is Rose? Is she downstairs where the danger is? Is that dangerous? You know, she's...
Jesus, that was the line. That's awful.
Well, maybe not quite that bad. But it was along those lines, and then she had to cry, and the Doctor went straight from, I couldn't give less of a fuck about you, Jackie. At the first hint of the appearance of some, whatever tears are called, tears... First hint of tears, the Doctor utterly relents, and suddenly he's promising her the Earth and everything that he can never deliver.
Factor in him being a massive Gallifreyan poonhound, and maybe there's another component to this. Well, whatever.
Actually, I do want to stop there and say I was very much sickened by the mother-in-law dynamic that they've reached.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
I don't know. It just annoys me. It annoys me the sort of silly jokes at her expense in the mother-in-law vein, and then
They're not doing as many of them in this episode as in the last, though.
Do you not think so? There were a
think so.
few. Oh, I'm sick of this sort of shit. You don't really care. You don't. Your actions don't seem to reflect the fact that you care.
Is it when Jackie's running up and down the stairs and the Doc's just like, you're such a fucking moron?
Yeah, but she is a complete moron in that scene as well, countering how she's been set up to date. I mean, she is certainly not the cleverest person around, but she's kind of street smart. And surely, just looking around a staircase and going, well, there's a fire extinguisher, is not going to be something that she's likely to say, right?
Also, I thought that was a funny moment.
That was a funny moment.
So, you know, it pleases some people. Or one person, at the very least.
Okay,
Right.
Moving on.
Yeah.
The Doctor needs to enter the whole scene, right? How does he do that? He shows up with his 3D glasses.
Yep, to watch the cybers make a broadcast to the whole Earth on all the wavelengths.
Oh, that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Did we talk about the 3D glasses in the last episode? Because before we press record, ladies and gentlemen, I was straight up asking the question, is this the first time that we see them? I don't even remember them showing up in the last one.
I'm pretty sure they showed up in the last one, just in, sort of...
As he's looking at the whatever?
No context. And I don't think they've shown up in any other episode.
So compare them to Capaldi's Sonic Ray-Bans.
Well, can we? I don't think.
I found myself wondering, because I hadn't seen the episode in nearly 10 years, is this some strange foreshadowing, and do the glasses have some freaky technology component?
They must, surely.
No, it's just a nonsense. It's just nonsense. It's just nonsense.
Yeah, but now
and
you have
whimsy.
to retcon it, right?
Yeah, I guess so. But it's nonsense and whimsy.
Yeah, they're 3D glasses. The clue's in the name. They're dimensionally, perceptive.
Yeah.
So void dimension shit just wibbles around.
And then I think from a writer's point of view, it's one of those like ways that you can make banal fantastical. Kids have seen stupid 3D glasses when they're, just knocking about, gone to sometimes you go on theme park rides and you have them, whatever, and it's like, oh, but they could have been magical. Look how magical it is. This, it's nonsense.
I don't know.
Annoys me.
I think there's something hipstery about it. He's using some quote-unquote old-timey technology, paper 3D glasses, and there's something super cool about it. It's just like him wearing Converse. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll take that too.
Whatever. So he's now sporting his 3D glasses. He goes to confront the Daleks. Yeah?
No,
he
this
surrenders.
This the Cyberman Dalek chat.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Which is the sassiest part about this whole episode.
It's an awesome bit. It's fantastic.
There's a scene before that.
Oh, okay, all right. Go for it.
Well, there are many scenes. First of all, the Cybermen, they're marching all over the planet, and everything is subjugated, but the humans are fighting back with their bullets. They're always firing fucking bullets.
Oh, yes, because you're in their homes. You've got their children. Of course they'll fight back.
Yeah.
Because we hold very dearly our sexism, racism, classism, all the things the Cybermen want to get rid of. These are the foundation of our society. We're not going to give them up without a fight. Raj is made, you're well, Neil.
Oh, the dehydration scene.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, let's talk about this dehydration scene because god damn it does it piss me off.
I don't understand so much about it.
So they're going to read his brain waves.
Yes.
By putting plungers on his head.
Which they've never done. When the fuck have the Daleks been able to do this too?
Presumably they can do this through technology now, and maybe this is a Cult of Skaro thing. I think the Cult of Skaro thing is a get-out-of-jail-free card almost.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it as well. Yeah,
I
that's
like
cool.
it.
They've got names and everything.
Yeah, they're more understanding
get worse.
Daleks. Oh.
That was
Yeah,
in the
they
Cult
do.
of Skaro get way worse
they
in this
do.
episode.
They definitely do.
They could have been badass.
Okay, anyway, so Raj kneels, gets the plungers on his head, and in the process of having his brainwaves read, which seems like a fairly innocent thing to do, to be honest. Invasive, of his integrity, but not anything else. He also has his cranium dehydrated.
Oh, either dehydrated or literally the flesh and gunk
Seared off, maybe?
Just fried.
seared or sucked off. I'm not really sure. It's not entirely clear. See, it may be that the thing was so invasive that it does, fucks with their brain. It's like a lobotomy almost, or whatever.
Yeah, but there's a physical,
But I don't know what you'd need with his, cheek fat. Why would that be important? Or his, tonsils, or all the other bits of his face.
Dude, tonsils.
Right?
Daleks don't have tonsils, they're so jealous.
Also, tonsils are shaped like Daleks, sort of, or, the opposite.
Have you seen a tonsil for a Dalek?
I've seen plenty of Daleks, thank you very much. They look like a tonsil and a testicle had a wild night, right?
You are having a barnstormer today.
Thanks.
Anyway, so
Empty stomach, by the way, that's my excuse.
Raj's skull has been charred or whatever it is, and
Sauteed.
And now, so they know stuff now. What do they know?
They know the recent history of the Earth, that the Cybermen are there, and that is when both sides, very similarly, go to establish visual contact with the other.
I'll just get this out in a sentence, but why the fuck do they need to know? surely they can just go, well, it makes no sense.
You're right. At the time, it seemed like it was vitally important for them to learn his... Oh, wait, hang on. Raj says, I can definitely share some intel on human history, but there are things concerning national security and, like, top secret shit that I'm not in a position to share with you. And that's when they decide to dehydrate his brain. Presumably they know some top secret shit.
I get that, but, like, so... Immediately after this, they show that they are completely unparalleled on this planet and probably many others in terms of force and whatever. Again, doesn't need they don't need intel. It doesn't make, it means nothing to them.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question, because I genuinely cannot remember. Where did the Genesis Ark come from? Was it in the Void Ship with them?
In the Void Ship. They pop out with the Genesis Ark accompanied by sort of some Cult of Skaro bouncers.
So the Genesis Ark... So maybe this is what the Time Lords did. They
whacked it in the void.
Exactly. They threw it in between the dimensions that, according to Gallifreyans, is impossible.
I thought it was just a myth.
In order to put it in the void, you need a void ship, which is technology that the Gallifreyans did not have, right? So how the shit did they put it in the void?
Okay, I've got it. I can do this.
Hit me.
I can do this. So during the Time War...
Yes. The fall of Arcadia.
The fall of Arcadia. They bring that up a fucking lot, don't they?
Yeah.
It's like there were no other battles in this entire war. Anyway, so the Time Lords imprisoned a whole bunch of Daleks as prisoners of war. The cults of Skaro found one of these prison ships, or commandeered it, and then in a bid to... run away from the Time War, which they hint at again or they talk about in the...
They escape into the void.
They escape into the void, so it's
Holy fuck!
Skaro they do.
It's the exact same thing that the Gallifreyans did!
Yes!
Oh my god, it's a perfect parallel! I'm sorry. Got really excited there. Yes, I'm buying that whole story.
Cool.
Fist bump.
What I want to know is how do you get millions of Daleks docile enough to just surrender and file one by one into this ship?
I hadn't thought about that. You probably just put a tonsil inside and lure them in.
This was my point earlier. It's way more complicated to build this thing and to then wrestle these, like...
Then bloody just explode them.
Yeah, however you've got them into the state where they're chill enough to enter this prison ship, just murder them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever, let's move on.
I should say I'm super against capital punishment. Generally, just in fictitious worlds, I'm sort of okay with the logic of it.
Like the last episode, if your kid turned out to be a Dalek, only then would you kill them.
Only then.
Shouldn't have had that one drunken night with a tonsil.
I come off really conservative in this podcast. Anyhow.
Right, so now we can get to the bit we enjoyed, which was the Daleks and the Cybermen just burning each other.
Yes. Sorry, I just consulted my notes. Can I throw one more thing?
It's fine, I do it to you all the time.
I'm really sorry. We learn that the Daleks, or at least the Cult of Skaro, measure time in rels.
Yes.
Which, as far as I know, hitherto they have not. For some inane reason, the Daleks have always used standard Earth measurements of time.
Now, okay.
And a rel, I suppose, yeah, sure.
What is a rel? Is that an actual unit of something?
I'm not sure. I was thinking, like, is it short for, like, revolution? Like, is it
I've never heard the term. No. And, I mean, unless it's supposed to be some sort of faux...
I've definitely heard rels before. In fact, I've heard it in Doctor Who as well, but not from Daleks. In Classic Who, wait for it, holy shit, check this out, in The Keys of Marinus, episode 4 or something, Ian Chesterton is about to be executed, and his execution is scheduled for, like, in 7 rels time.
Maybe it is a real thing.
Self 5, excuse me, I'm gonna go and jerk off.
In 4 rels.
I'll see you guys in a rel.
Okay, well, I'll take that as some, I don't know, whatever unit of measurement, I guess.
So anyway, Daleks and Cybers. Yeah. Sorry.
So now
No, I've got to look up rel now.
No, you don't. We don't need it.
This is for the education of our listeners.
But do you know how many rels we're wasting?
Well, no, because I can't seem to find it anywhere.
I don't think it's a thing.
No, it's fictional.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
But there is a Whovian precedent for it.
Cool.
Which I think is pretty cool from a trivia point of view.
Yeah.
Fine, just me. Fuck you guys.
Whatever.
Sure. Okay, so give us the rundown of the first contact. First contact between them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. They ask each other a lot of similar questions.
Yeah.
You identify. No, you identify. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
And then the Cybermen are like, ha ha, you said you were the Daleks.
That was very don't tell him Pike. It was a don't tell him Pike moment.
So at this point, the Daleks must know the Cybermen. They've already dehydrated Raj. They must know who the Cybermen are.
Yeah.
So
You'd think, wouldn't you?
why look at them and go, identify yourselves, and I detect low technology cybernetics or whatever it is he says.
Yeah. The whole thing is a nonsense. It's just farce. It's just farce for farce's sake.
For farce's sake.
But I did enjoy it. It was an enjoyable farce.
I enjoyed it as well.
I know that the latter half of the farce was best, which is the actual antagonistic part where they're going to blow each other up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally badass.
Where the Daleks go, this is pest control.
I think the best line is that you are, you're
Only superior to us. Should we soundbite that?
Yes, let's.
You are superior in only one respect.
What is that?
You are better at dying.
Thanks, Daleks.
Yeah, that's badass.
The Cult of Skaro is, like, they're sarcastic, they've got some sass and some chutzpah. I like it. Another soundbite that occurs around about the same time, I don't like as much, though. It comes from Mickey Ricky, and it is...
It's like Stephen Hawking meets a speaking clock.
It's a Stephen Hawking joke in really poor taste.
It was terrible. Who wrote that?
It's in such poor taste. I mean, okay, for all I know, maybe he was chuckling at it. Maybe he thought it was really funny, now he's part of Doctor Who. But, like, of the universe.
Yeah, unless Stephen Hawking wrote it, or personally approved it.
Britain's most celebrated physicist.
Yeah.
Why? I don't understand why he deserves such a backhander. Like, what has he done to you, writing crew? Yeah.
The confrontation continues, and, I'm sorry, we get one more soundbite of significance.
You would destroy the Cybermen with 4 Daleks. We would destroy the Cybermen with 1 Dalek.
Because it is yet again, and I'm only saying this because we brought it up on Who Back When a number of times, this is, from the lips of a Dalek, the confirmation that all you need is one. You don't need millions of Daleks as we get towards the end of this.
Sure.
You just need the one.
Just do it one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so how did we all feel about how the two baddest asses in the Whovian universe going toe-to-toe and it being a fucking whitewash?
Yeah, not a single Dalek. I mean, there are only 4 to start with, but not a single one was killed.
That sucked so much for me. At the time and now.
Agreed. We get the scenes, we get to see millions of Cybermen and millions of Daleks, but never, what I would have liked to have seen would have been like, let's zoom out Lord of the Rings style and see these two massive metallic armies just having at it.
See, and that could, I mean, I'm happy with the small scale battle.
Sure, but like, let's see it then.
So we've been having this conversation, Whovian fans, throughout, for 50 years. People my dad's
Cage
age,
fights. Cage
absolutely.
fight. Who would win?
It's like, who would win? And there are people on the Cybermen side, there are people on the Daleks. When I was a kid, that was always, it was a big talking point. Who's the baddest ass? And and I think we all probably knew on balance it was the Daleks.
Yeah.
But when the Cybermen show up, as they want to do in various serials and whatever, I think we're supposed to give them the same level of respect and terror. Right?
Yeah. You want it to be a close-run thing. Who's number 1 and who's number 2?
Yeah, I would like there should have been a battle where it wasn't just one Dalek could fucking wipe your whole thing out. And then it makes the subsequent Cybermen things, as we go on through New Who and we, through Smith and Capaldi or whatever, it just makes them less frightening. Just way less frightening.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And if you root for the underdog, there's nothing for you here.
Now, I'm going to give ourselves, everyone, and this is my present to you, Podcast Land, an out.
Okay.
On where this was just the Daleks versus this version of Cybermen. Cybermen are always evolving and taking on new things, and
it's
so
also
maybe,
not the Daleks. It's the Cult of Skaro. It's very specific.
No, but let's
Daleks.
say just Daleks in general are gonna, the same blasters, the same whatever it is.
Sure.
But the Cybermen have that ability to evolve quickly, as they do later on. We'll find in a Matt Smith episode as we come up.
Also, this is parallel universe Daleks.
Parallel universe Cybermen. So let's just say they fucked up these Cybermen, but maybe round 2 will be closer. A little bit of hope for round 2.
I'm okay with that.
Cool.
All right, that's a nice out.
So Jackie and HR are about to get cybered.
Right.
Yes, and this is definitely one of the most cringeworthy scenes.
It's HR Stooge.
HR Stooge is the most cringy death in all of Doctor Who hitherto.
If only it had been a death, but carry on.
Yeah, oh god, when we get to that.
For Queen and Country.
For the love of God.
The jingoism is strong in that death, and continues to be in her resurrection.
Yeah.
Jackie's accusing her of it being all
why did you do this?
I was doing this for Queen and Country. It's like,
Jackie's saying, yeah, this is all your fault, you and Torchwood.
Okay. And so that I'm inferring that they mean by the ghost shift, and then in the previous episode, which, then in turn brings in the cybers.
Yeah.
What I don't get, it's like, I did my best for Queen and Country. It's like, it doesn't seem clear as to why. It's not like you were doing this ghost shift because it kept us free of terrorism, or some like...
Well, it's because she wanted to fuel the British Empire. Yeah. That's why she did it, right?
Yeah, the precious oil.
What did also, it do? I mean, it was very unclear as to how...
But it's also like, hey, Yvonne, for the love of God, take a meta step and just check if you actually did the best for Queen and Country.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure the entire empire, quote unquote, is boned at this point.
Yvonne expects an OBE any day.
It's just happening.
Yeah. The Queen is not amused. Absolutely not. No, going back to it though, the ghost shift, it doesn't seem clear. It doesn't mean, I don't know why it benefits anyone other than for entertainment.
And free power, free electric, limitless free electricity.
That was
the whole spiel, right? They could tap the parallel universe or dimension.
Yeah, no, fair enough, I guess.
But still, fairly... I mean, what a blunder, right?
Fortunately, though, the person we wanted to see bumped off has been bumped off, but Jackie is able to sneak away.
She makes her escape.
Yeah.
Yes, she does. Running down the staircase, cut to the doctor. I'm just going to make a phone call.
He makes several phone calls.
He does, yeah.
Why does everyone just say no? No, you're not allowed a phone call.
Actually, the first phone call pissed me off. Because the first 10 minutes, Jackie is clinging to the doctor going, Doctor, where's Rose? And then he says, she's on your fucking phone.
Yeah,
just
you're
call
right.
her up.
Surely, if she's so naive, why doesn't she just ring her?
There's no reason.
There is no reason. Okay, whatever. So he's now calling Jackie. Let's synchronize So we get the little scene of Jackie being a complete fool. At some point, he goes to the parallel universe, then comes back, and he and parallel universe, what's-his-face, Rose's dad... Pete, they save her. She's still on the run.
No, see, the one bit you're missing out there is that parallel Torchwood popping in first. They pop in, save the doctor, and then they have a little chat.
Dimension nap him.
And then and they're like, I'll show you.
Okay, yeah, you're right. All right, so they then take him to the parallel universe.
Warming!
They take him to the parallel universe.
Do you think that's what the allegory is?
Yes,
Well,
that's
actually,
exactly what it is.
In the opposite, in the parallel universe, the world is boiling, or at some point he says, that's what's happening to your world. You're fucking it up.
Yeah.
The world's. That's the allegory. How obtuse.
Almost thought you were going to go with fascinating.
Yeah. How obtuse.
I think
Fuck
it's...
you guys.
And also, thank you, Shawshank Redemption, for teaching me that word.
I think it's more a reward for extremely close scrutiny.
So we get to do the Zeppelin test again. The doc goes, where am I? Oh, well, let's peek out the window. Are there Zeppelins? Yes, there are. Must be a parallel dimension.
Yeah, I made a note of that specifically. Alternate London has 2 Zeppelins.
That's how I'm going to test.
That's because it's Universe 2.
We also have a little chat between the Doctor and Pete in this case, or in this scene. They're still in the parallel universe. He basically just goes, well, fuck that other universe. Let's just seal the breach between universes.
Fuck your universe, Charlie Murphy.
We'll stay here. We'll be fine. That other universe can be cybered and Dalek to death. And Tennant goes, yeah, but, Jackie and Rose are there. They're your wife and daughter respectively. And Pete at this point basically just goes, fuck them. Rose, not my daughter. Never had one. They had a dog called Rose in this universe, I think. And Jackie, she died. Let's put a pin in that. And then fast forward to the end in a little bit.
We shall.
Yeah, god damn it. Anyway, what happens? They jump back to the other universe and save Jackie.
Because all that the doc needed was for someone to believe in him. He goes from emo to, alright.
Baby, that's all I need.
Yeah.
All right. are you a millennia-old time-travelling demigod, or are you Santa? Because that's kind of how Santa works.
We all know Nick Frost is Santa, so he can't be. But there are loads of little touches in this episode like that just annoy me and don't hang together. The next one is after the fire extinguisher gag in the Back in Universe 1. The Doc asks Jackie, what staircase are you on? Is there any identifying feature? She says fire extinguisher. Ha ha ha. Betty laughs, whatever. And then she's like, oh no, I'm on staircase N3, because she's close enough to a giant sign of N3 on the wall, which is right in her face, to touch it and then make the connection. For me, if she'd been running down the stairs and she'd been like, oh, I've just spotted I'm on N3.
Yeah, but that was my point before.
Yeah.
I mean, this is uncharacteristic of Jackie Tyler.
I'm fine with the stressed adult brain missing that shit. I've missed road signs before that I was looking for.
I also don't feel like she's anywhere near horny enough. Is that not true?
Where did that come from?
She should have just jumped Pete the second she saw him. I've been waiting a long time for this.
Is it just me? Jackie Tyler, I'm pretty sure we established this in part 1 of this double feature, is the randiest person, shut up dude, is the randiest person on this show.
She should be asking where they can stick their plungers.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes no sense.
It makes perfect sense.
That's the weirdest thing you've said on this podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta listen to this shit one more time.
Apropos of nothing.
Oh, Cybermen. Do you have a cyber woman, or is it just me?
So, what happens now? Pete, Doc, and Jake, we were saying this before, the boy band member of the Resistance, they save Jackie. Right? And now we get that moment where basically we don't get enough. I mean, okay, we do get a little bit of Jackie going, holy shit, you're my husband. So much more emotion that you could play with in that scene, and actually from that point on, that is completely disregarded.
Maybe we go for, maybe there's subtext there, but also that, hey, we'll pick up this conversation, when the Earth's less in peril.
Maybe under the circumstances. Yeah. Still, I feel like it was entirely omitted from the narrative. And then basically we go from 0 to 100 because we just jump to, oh, well, she's pregnant again? Jesus Christ, Jackie.
We're talking about the reunion scene between Jackie and Pete, right?
Yeah.
See, I like that scene, again.
Did you like I don't care about that. How rich? Yeah. I don't care about that. I like that. The tone was spot on.
Wait, what was that?
Yeah. All those daft little plans of mine, they worked. Maybe rich.
I don't care about that. How rich?
Very.
I don't care about that. How very?
You know what? That sounds really nice. Also blanked on that. I watched this in a rush right before we recorded, by the way.
Yeah, it was good, and they gave a couple of minutes. There was a definite lull in the action while these two had their meaningful moment. Pete was about to front up and go, yeah, I'm just parallel Pete. I don't care about Jackie number 1, and then he's like. You saw his face drop and he's like, oh, fucking hell, love, let's get at it. And I liked it.
Let's cut to Rose.
Yeah, because by this point, we've learnt that she needs to touch the Ark. Yeah. And that's what will set it off.
Or Mickey Ricky.
Or Mickey Ricky. Anyone who has the time traveller background radiation thingy. Yeah. And soundbite, please.
Your handprints will open the Ark.
Well, tough, because I'm not doing it.
Obey, or the male will die.
I can't let him.
Rose goes from, I'm never going to do this, to, sure, I'll do it, in about a second and a half.
Yeah, and she didn't even bother to act those statements out, I think was the worst part. There was no, emotional trauma or volte face there. It was like, I'm not going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, okay.
See, the weird thing about the dynamic there is that, so she doesn't know this, but she has an inkling that she's going to put the universe at mortal peril, just in terrible peril, if she touches this thing, but we'll do that rather than see Mickey Ricky die, right? And
that's obviously what's happening.
Quite an exchange in a way that she's never shown that. for him in that on that same level, in the way that
because now he's a monumental interdimensional badass.
Yeah.
Previously, he was just,
but in the same way
some dude who liked her.
She shows that easily for the Doctor later on, and I don't know. I feel like she sort of shot that bullet a bit early. Maybe he could have had a little think about it first, but like you said, it went too quick.
What further compounds the inadequacy of the scene is that she then says they're going to kill us anyway, so what the hell? Brackets, let's just destroy the future.
And also, if they're going to kill us anyway, what does it matter if I save Mickey Ricky by sacrificing the rest of mankind? If we're going to die anyway, it makes no sense.
But anyway, Doc enters the scene.
Social interaction has ceased.
I really liked that.
Yeah.
That was well acted, actually.
So the Dalek names are Thay, Sek, Jest and Khan, which I took to mean Dalek Rai, Dalek Sark, Dalek Sass and Dalek Burn, because that's exactly what they are and what they do. Is there any significance to these names whatsoever?
Not that I know of.
It would be a language of some sort.
Scaran?
No, well, yeah, very possibly. But I thought it might actually have... You know how, like, they could have been just random Greek alphabet? Like, I don't know if it could have been something...
What was
Sanskrit or something.
Dalek Khan is one.
Thay, Sek, Jest and Khan.
I don't know. Sek and Khan seem like words I've heard before.
Yeah.
Sek is like
Dry.
triple Sek, yeah.
I don't know. Khan is king in...
Dalek Khan is the leader of the cult of Skaro, is he not?
Well, see, this is what I'm thinking.
I think so.
This is what I'm thinking. Khan...
Bingo. Bingo bongo.
know.
Alright, so, yeah.
Maybe
right
Sanskrit?
in.
I don't know.
Dispel our ignorance.
He turns up. Oh, and he's telling the parallel Pete's pistols to recalibrate to whatever the fucking... What was the
Polycarbide or something?
Oh, yeah. And what's that? That's what Daleks are made of.
It's like... Does no one else know this? I mean, no, just material science, right? Like, why is someone not else?
Also, polycarbide, that's just a type of material, it sounds like. That's not a specific material, which Doctor Who has taught us. The Daleks are made of Dalekanium, which is a particular kind of metal.
Dalekanium!
Yes, which is a particular kind of metal that exists nowhere but Skaro.
It is one atomic number up from unobtainium.
Yeah. Ah, yes. That really hurts my cranium. So, yeah, the Doctor also has a little chat with the Daleks, which I liked until I watched the Season 1 end.
Oh, interesting.
Where Eccleston has a much better one with the Daleks. Where he's,
with the Emperor.
Before he gets to the Emperor even, where he says, "You've heard about me, I'm the Doctor, doesn't it make you burn?" Yeah, and all that stuff. That was much better than this.
Because Christopher Eccleston
is
fucking
intense.
bad ass.
What a dude.
Okay, so everyone turns up. Guns are blazing.
Yeah, this is another scene where the whitewash happens. You think they're going to get a Dalek down. He goes, "My casing, it's impaired." But then it's like, "Oh, I'm back together again. Pew, 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 pew. We've won."
Fair play. Okay. What's the next plot point?
The next plot point is the only scene that I remembered to this day, until I watched it again today. It's the scene where they are moving slowly through the giant warehouse full of boxes, and the Daleks are just going exterminate, and the Cybermen are going delete, and almost nothing is happening. They're firing off thousands and thousands of things. I watched this again and again and again. You can see a Cyberman at the very top
right,
walkway,
falling down. Yeah.
Fall down. There's one. He sort of falls onto his arse. Bottom left, and nothing happens. It's a really undynamic scene, which at the point of the epic smackdown,
you want to see just that.
Yeah, you want to see explosions and shit ripping apart, and you got a bit of that in the room a minute ago, but this scene, in comparison, is just completely uninspiring.
Human soldiers involved in this fight as well, in the warehouse smackdown. We definitely get a scene of Torchwood soldiers with bazookas.
Okay, so here's an odd thing, and I don't know, maybe I haven't seen all the Torchwood, or obviously not all the classic as we're going through them, but in this episode, what is the relevant difference between Unit and Torchwood? Because they look like Unit.
At this point, Torchwood are still sort of bad guys. Right?
I don't know, but I'm saying
feel like
that
they are. Unit must have ceased to exist at some point.
So many of the other iterations of Torchwood have been a more clandestine, science-based, exploratory and acquisitive society, and Unit has been a military arm. right?
Yeah.
Like the two, the what's his name?
Brigadier.
And
Brigadier,
absolutely, and all that sort of stuff. And this iteration of Torchwood seems to be both.
Kind of, yeah, you're right.
I mean, the my queen and country, something the Brigadier would have said. And, it's odd. I don't know what the fuck it is. It doesn't look like Torchwood, doesn't look like Unit.
Do you think that Torchwood was maybe created for New Who as a replacement for Unit?
Yeah, replacing
because
Unit.
at least at this point, there is no Unit.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
But then there is...
Fast forward to Capaldi times, we have Unit. In fact, fast forward to Matt Smith times, and we have Unit.
And there's no Torchwood.
But we have the Torchwood spin-off series. So Torchwood definitely
Which then
continues
goes
to
back
exist.
to its whole, like I said, clandestine, inquisitive...
Yeah, that's more like X-Files.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, Unit becomes a military, governmental wing of things. It's just... basically, I'm saying is that this is a weird, anomalous version of Torchwood / Unit.
See, I don't know if this is an anomalous version of Torchwood, because this is really, so far, the only version of Torchwood that we've had.
Yeah, apart from Queen Victoria.
Yeah, which was created, 10 episodes ago?
Yeah.
Which is another thing, it's also been running since Victorian times, so the whole original timeline of Unit presumably has been retconned because Torchwood existed for that whole duration.
Oh, that's very true.
There is the
Super true.
Christmas episode Torchwood turn up. Operation Torchwood,
I remember that.
Tennant's first episode.
Tennant's first episode. Oh, yeah. Christmas Invasion.
Yeah.
You're right, yes, we do have Torchwood there. And
they're governmental, aren't they? Because
they're more in line with what we've got in this episode.
Anyway, sorry, slight sojourn.
Yeah. It is a good anagram, though.
Yeah, it is. It's what they were labelling the Doctor Who production reels or something, right? To keep them secret.
Oh,
I think
didn't
that.
know that.
It's like normally during productions, if it's something super high profile, they want to give it they give it a code name so that people don't go, oh, this is Doctor Who, paparazzi, blah, 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 blah. And they called it Torchwood.
That must have got really confusing when Torchwood became its own series. It's like, what the fuck is in this box?
Oh my god, okay, no one can find out that we're shooting Torchwood, let's just call it Doctor Who. It's an anagram. Okay, so lots of fighting, yada yada yada, and we get a cutscene of the Doctor fetching the nipple clamps, as predicted in the last episode.
They look like sort of massive Reese's peanut butter cups with handles.
Oh really? Yeah. I'm thinking, what's that sport called on
Curling.
ice? Curling, yeah, that's what they look like.
Maybe a cross between the two. Yeah. They had a gratuitous shot in Army of Ghosts.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. It's like, look at this technology. Here's one piece of it.
Yeah.
I need it later.
What happens?
The arc opens.
Yeah, Smackdown. Mickey Ricky stumbles and touches it by accident.
Silly Ricky.
And the Doctor seems oddly pleased that happened.
Yeah?
Does he not? He goes, oh, don't worry about it. It's actually the best thing that could have happened. Does he not say that?
Yeah, he says you saved the Daleks burning up the sun, so fair enough.
Okay.
I don't mind.
Yeah. And then...
Seems like a really, really...
And then they...
misjudgment. Yeah, anyway.
They sod off to the top of Canary Wharf. We're all sat there with bated breath to see what's going to be released at the top of Canary Wharf.
Yeah.
And it's fuckloads of Daleks.
Yeah.
As we've alluded to before, because it's a prison ship.
Yeah.
It's bigger on the inside. It's, Time Lord technology.
Yeah.
Fine.
By the way, it looks super awesome, I think.
It does look super awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely... Sorry to keep harping on, but compared to the Season 1 CGI... Huge improvement, especially on the spaceships and things like that. And the Flying Daleks themselves, in fact.
Yeah, they look much better.
Yeah.
They look very good.
So the Daleks, say, destroy everything below. Something to that effect.
Yes, they exterminate all life forms
All
below.
life forms below. So they start with impunity, and they've improved their aim whilst they've been in this prison ship, because they basically hit everything, right? Everything below, we see people in the street being vaporised, etc.
Oh, millions of dollars.
Yeah, millions, right?
Yeah, well, we see one person
Now,
being vaporised, but okay.
cut back to observer deck of Canary Wharf, and the dock's pretty fucking merry.
Yeah.
It's actually really like, is that what I'm going to say about the glasses? Look at me, I'm quirky. It's like, literally millions
are
of
dying
people,
out there.
like, in front of you.
Yeah. Like blood is about to wash away the foundations of the building you're in.
More of this Narcissus of a Doctor are we treated to, where all he gives a fuck about is his own cleverness and that someone feeds his ego more than the literal blood-stained streets.
Did you guys watch the TARDISodes? So during this season, this is what, the 13th episode in this season?
Yep.
During this season, either before, might actually have been during like a commercial break or something, they would show...
You don't get those on the BBC.
Bingo bongo. So either before or after, they would have these little mini episodes called TARDISodes. And I only watched TARDIsode 13, which takes place during the SmackDown. It's a 50-second scene. It's half news broadcast, half found footage sci-fi horror of people on the streets screaming and running away from Cybermen, and then all of a sudden you just get a little hint of a Dalek. Yeah. But that's, I mean, parallel to what you were saying just a moment ago, on the street, people are in terror. People are dying. You get to see soldiers firing bazookas at Cybermen, and the Cybermen just like tearing people to bits, basically. I mean, not quite that gratuitously, but still, I mean, people are in genuine horror.
Yep. And that wasn't impetus enough for the Doctor to kick into gear and think he could save things.
No, he has to have his little spiel where he even puts his wibbly-wobbly paper 3D glasses on Rose's head.
You know what else annoyed me at this point?
What's that?
Void stuff. Because isn't a void devoid of stuff?
Oh, god damn you. Oh, god damn you, Drood. You just ruined this even more for me.
Isn't
Such
that
a good
the
point.
fucking definition?
The stuff might not... Well, it's a bit of a fuck up with the nomenclature of what void stuff is.
They do refer to it as background radiation here as well.
Yes, so it's actually probably stuff to do with the it being in transit from moving from the void to else. So basically, move through. So not stuff from the void, but extra from the void passing through it.
Yeah. I can maybe get on board with that. Like,
I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. But I just want to not. I want to do more of these.
It's a challenge. It's a mental workout. Anyway,
well, let's put a damper on things.
The wind out.
Shall we cut to the HR stooge, or does something significant happen before then?
yes, something does happen.
Oh,
the Doc tries to get rid of Rose, tries to bundle her off with Parallel Pete to his world.
In fact, does. Yeah, they all parallel dimension jump, whatever, and she then jumps back.
She jumps back. Oh, no, you don't.
Very quick to abandon her mum in a parallel universe.
But that's it. Actually, this is where I start to get wrapped up in the emotional fraughtness. You know, is where it's like, oh fuck,
you literally just abandon your mum.
Yeah.
You will never see her
in
again.
a split second.
Yeah.
You didn't wrangle. You didn't sit there for 10 minutes.
Yeah. In fact, let's continue the pin that I dropped earlier on. Like, this is such a horrendously callous family reunion. It is terrible. Absolutely terrible. She is prepared to just sacrifice her family relationships, just like the two parents who, like, in their own individual universes, have lost their families, are just happy to go, well, you kind of look like the woman I boned before, let's continue doing that. It's terrible.
I mean,
the Tyler family dynamic is
the Pete and Jackie
appalling.
dynamic I'm not really so sure about, but I'm very willing to buy into the pseudo star-crossed lovers, this coming to a head in this, in this sort of serial where she's forsaken her family to be with, this explorer.
But they're not star-crossed lovers.
No, not in the sort of Romeo and Juliet way, but in the sense that she's willing to forsake her family in the same way that Juliet was for Romeo.
Oh, I'm not buying that at all.
That parallel?
No, I think...
Don't look at me. Pong can carry on.
Well, I don't think that there's ever... no one at any point says, oh, this is a forbidden love. So they're not star-crossed lovers.
No, I get that.
Okay, what ticks me off here is that this is, hands down, just confirmation of Jackie's fears, her paranoia in, for example, I hate to say it, but Love and Monsters.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, she never calls me or anything. But we do get bits and pieces of different episodes. In fact, in Love and Monsters even, where Rose goes, hey, you offended my mum, or you made my mum cry. Screw you. Like, she is number one for me, right? In this one, she couldn't give a smaller shit.
She could get. I don't think that's right. I think that it's obviously a troubling thing that she goes through, but it was that I've made this choice. I'm going with it. This is where I start to believe.
She doesn't say goodbye. She could turn around to her mum and go like, I have to do this. That's it. Then press the button. She doesn't. She just goes, oh, fuck you guys. Press the button.
Well, I think that because actually that's preceded by an absence of that with the Doctor. The Doctor doesn't do that with the Rose. She just goes, here's a button, boom, you're gone. We're not having a long goodbye either.
Yeah, but the reason he does that is because he wants to save her life.
Yes, but then maybe in the opposite scale, she needs to get back to him so she can be with him for this. You know, for this.
What, to help him in
battle.
the fight?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's still a very timely thing. You know, it's not like she got the luxury to sit and chat about it. I like it. Oh well, I don't like it. I think it was.
I dislike it.
Yeah, I'm into it as a thing. I think
I'm out of it. Okay, well, we could definitely debate this until time immemorial. Let's carry on. Let's move on. What's the next one?
Rose is now beaming because the old team are back together, and she and Doc can get on with saving the world. He's to settle the coordinates to 6, which sounded like another Hell reference.
Yes,
which
that
he mentions
was a
couple
Hell
times.
reference.
Holy crap, sorry. Can I just retcon with our little debate of a moment ago? She still has the button, right?
Yes.
So possibly in her mind, this is not a goodbye from her family. Maybe she figures, I'm just going to go and help him fix this situation in my universe, and then I'm going to pop back and get my mum.
Entirely possible. Yeah, she doesn't know
I take
exactly.
it back. Actually, that resolves it for me.
Is the button conveniently lost?
No, she still
It
does
just
it.
stops working at one point.
Oh, it stops working.
It's also because they do the thing that they do.
Yeah,
in Clover
exactly.
Bridge. Although actually,
That seals the breach.
Or no, she knows that's what he's about to do.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
taking
what-
back what I said before.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You're totally wrong. Okay, so what happened? Sorry.
Okay, now we get to Cyber Yvonne.
Oh, Cyber Yvonne.
That is in no way explained. How is she able to do that?
Yeah, let's soundbite that as well.
I did my duty for Queen and country. I did my duty for Queen and country. I did my...
Fuck that soundbite.
Screw that
Why?
soundbite right
I don't
in the
get
ear.
it. What's so special about you, HR Yvonne?
Yeah, not just is she sentient, she's crying.
Is that blood or oil?
It's,
I don't know.
it's just like oil, but how? Well, like, she's just a brain inside a machine.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, and she's, as the Cybermen has said at the beginning, she has been made completely identical with all the other Cybermen.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to build them with tear ducts.
No. Whatsoever.
Oil ducts or anything. But what's worse is like, what about you and your brain? But this
Yeah,
this
how
is,
have you retained
this
your
is-
individuality?
So back to my original jingoistic accusation is the intimation here that she cared so much about her queen and country, she was able to do something no other human has been able to, or other life form has been able to achieve, which is
Maybe.
reject the... And
That may very well
then
be it.
Is it implicit or complicit advocation for,
What, the monarchy?
Yeah, yeah, right?
Well, we're trying to sell poor little Britain to the rest of the world via Doctor Who.
I guess. I mean, just FYI, Podcast Land, we don't all feel like that.
No.
We don't all feel like we're doing everything for the Queen and country. Love Queenie, but I don't give a fuck that. I don't care that much.
There's no Whovian explanation for it. There's no like, oh, she tripped on a wire, there's some sort of short circuit. Or
I
something.
literally can't think. I mean...
Oh, wait, hang on.
Go on.
Go
on.
Yeah, check this out. Alright. Rise of the Cybermen, Age of Steel, the second one. There's a euthanasia scene. Do you remember that? There's the bit where they encounter a Dalek and he euthanizes it. Because all of a sudden... a Cyberman, because all of a sudden it just...
Remembers shit.
Yeah, and doesn't even know that it's
sorry.
a Cyberman.
I'm so sorry.
Exactly, yeah. There's that scene where it just suddenly retains all of its... re-obtains all of its individuality, its personality, but none of its memory.
Yeah.
Which actually also kind of sort of contradicts what's happening here, because she clearly remembers what's happened. She knows that she's a brain in a machine.
She's still saying the same fucking thing she was 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, but
so
she's
she
also-
must remember.
Yeah, and she's crying, presumably because she's sad about her own fate and, what happened to her and so on and so forth. But there is a precedent for this.
Okay.
So very possibly, I don't remember her tripping over a magnet or some wiring or whatever, but very possibly she was damaged in such a way that I can't remember what it's called at the time, like the emotional inhibitor or something, that has been deactivated and all of a sudden she's herself again.
I guess so. All of this has happened off screen and in a way that we can't figure out, but yeah, I'm fine.
So yeah, the team are back together, Shiver and Shake. I looked this up because I'd never heard of Shiver and Shake or Mutt and Jeff. Have you heard of Shiver and Shake?
No, what is this?
No.
What are you talking
they reference it, but it was something that flew over my head.
Yeah,
Who
Shiver.
references this?
The Doc.
Shiver and Shake back together again, or some shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, Shiver and Shake are British comic strip characters from the 1970s. Really obscure, but presumably Russell T Davies used to be mad for it when he was a small boy, and so it got in. And Mutt and Jeff is an American comic strip that ran from 1907 to 1983.
Interesting. Well, I don't know about that latter, but I wonder if maybe there's a reference to it when we get to Pertwee. Maybe. Unlikely, but
You never know.
Yeah. Interesting.
So now the moment you've been waiting for, they turn on the nipple clamps.
Oh, bingo bongo, it's back to Lever City.
Okay, the levers make no fucking sense.
Also, there are two of them now. I thought there was just the one.
No, there were two. There were
really?
two. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but back in Age of Steel there were two. So, to try to run through the plan, open up the void, everything gets sucked through the void closes itself.
Yeah. And
Everything gets sucked in with void stuff,
Yep.
including themselves.
yeah.
So they need the clamps to prevent them.
Explain why they need the clamps again.
So that they don't get sucked into the void.
Do they tie themselves to the clamps? No. So basically what you're saying is that they've added handles to the walls.
Yes.
Why not just hold on to something that's already there?
Because I don't know, the desk hasn't got any void stuff.
The Magna clamps are such that they cancel out the mass of what they're...
What they're
actually, what they're
holding.
clamped to.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so, like, by holding onto that,
not
they should
them.
be able to, like, lift up the wall, like, lift the building, right?
Yeah, I assumed that their own mass was cancelled out, so they were that much lighter and they were only supporting the suction of the void stuff.
I don't think it should cancel out their own mass.
It would be way easier to do that. Then they would just be standing there with the void
Yeah,
stuff
exactly.
in.
They're flying, like, as the wind, you know, the Daleks are flying into the void. Yeah, the void, I suppose.
Why the graphic of things flying in?
Yeah.
It had no Cybermen.
Not one of the 5 million Cybermen.
Holy shit, that's a super good point. What happened to the Cybers?
But they were supposed to go in as well, right?
You saw a couple of scenes of, like, Cybers in front of the Taj Mahal being sucked into the air.
And they're, like, sort of disappearing.
Yeah, they were never seen again.
There were like 3 or 4 clips of of the same stock footage of Daleks.
Foreign locations.
Yeah. Daleks going into the wall.
Yeah.
And I don't think I saw a single Cyberman.
No, I checked. I made a note on it. There was not a single one.
Super good point.
Weird.
So what happens? So maybe they just ran out of budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. They animated 3 seconds of it and just used it over and over again.
Yeah, but also the Cybermen. Like, I mean, it's the easiest thing in the world. Let's just lower the opacity. Boom, done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they already had the Dalek CGI template from season 1. They just amped it up a bit for season 2. But to create a whole millions and millions of tumbling Cybermen with limbs and everything, that would have been
More expensive, yeah. Okay, so I've got a question. Isn't there an additional reason why Rose needs to be in the other universe? Something along the lines of anyone who has that void stuff is going to be sucked in.
Sure.
But no one else. Is that the thing?
Yeah, that's the thing. Everything that has the void stuff is going through the void, i.e. Daleks, Cybermen, and Time Travelers.
Okay, so, question. Why doesn't Rose end up in the void? Or, why don't Cybermen and Daleks end up in the parallel universe?
Because of the clamps.
No, but she's sucked into the crack in the wall as well, right?
No. I mean, that's the point of that's the whole finale. Parallel Pete comes. Like that. See.
You're right. Sorry,
real issue with that.
Totally forgot about that.
You know why you've misremembered that? Is
because it
that
makes no sense.
Makes no fucking sense.
No. Oh my god. I'm now having flashbacks. He jumps in the way, is not sucked anywhere. Catches her, looks at Doc. Boom.
Yeah, there's definitely a lingering look. I don't know why that would have happened because they would have both been immediately sucked into the thing that they're like 2 feet away from. B, how would he have timed or located that?
Or known about it? Even known about it.
Known about it.
No, there's no visual link between the universes at any point.
Also, he would have to go to that spot in the parallel universe, right? Because it seems as though we're operating under the assumption that when you jump from one universe to the other, you jump to the equivalent place in the other universe.
I think that corroborates.
Okay, well, I've got a few questions about that as well in that case. So, what if someone's standing there when you jump in? What if there's no building in the parallel universe?
Take your chances. If you've not seen Slime,
9 out of 10
So
must
there is a building, but it's inexcusable the way that he just pops in at the last second.
I can't believe I forgot about that.
Don't know how.
No, there's no way how. I noted it as, it's a lovely bit of theatre, but still, what bollocks.
Okay, so before that, some more bollocks. There's some more bollocks to do with the levers. So one of the reason that Rose needs saving is because her lever goes offline.
Yep.
Okay, now my definition of offline is not in operation in whatever capacity that it was supposed to be working on, some sort of network.
Yeah.
But the void carries on. It's still working.
Yeah.
But there are
It's
two
just-
levers.
Yeah, so her lever goes and it becomes offline. The void is still sucking things in. Why does she need to rectify whatever the situation is?
Yeah, all the Daleks have done is slow down a little bit, but they're still tumbling in, and there are only 8 more of them left once she's
So
gone anyway.
she goes to rectify, to make her lever online, and that's what eventually gets her. But then, okay, here's the other thing. She does it, and then it says, lever locked, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Why not have done that before the first place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Just like, okay, it's really important. We push these levers, and they be locked.
Yeah, don't take it most of the way. Do it till you hear it click.
Yeah.
And then we go around the corner, so we don't need to use these stupid nipple clamps. Clamps.
Yeah. Also, there should have been a little vocalised help function saying, your lever does not appear to be locked. Would you like to lock it? Okay. Click OK.
Got another question for you. So, in part 1 of this double feature, we saw very clearly that you can control these levers using a keyboard. Why not just do that? Why not sit in the adjacent office and type some stuff on a keyboard, and all of a sudden that controls the levers, and we don't need nipple clamps, and we don't need to potentially sacrifice rolls.
Okay, shut up. That's why.
Right. Since you put it that way.
There's no other explanation.
That closed the breach between us and the episode. We are at 1 again.
Yes.
Alright, so, yeah, let's tie this up in a neat little bow.
Emotionally wrought, wall hugging between Rose and the Doctor.
Because ... love.
Because love.
Yeah.
And then the again utter nonsense of her in parallel universe getting some sort of vision of the Doctor.
First she gets a verbal message. She hears his voice. But also there's that point where they're both still at the wall. There's a scene where there's a moment where she definitely notices that he is at the wall as well.
Yeah. Because ... love.
Yeah, because reasons.
But the vision upsets me. It's like, how are you doing this? You said that there was this one. Literally, are you just like this one point in its closing?
Yeah.
The fuck? How are you contacting her? Why not leave more detailed instructions? How have you made it into her dreams? Because as far as I'm aware, her dreams aren't they're not a navigable portion of either universe.
No.
Are they?
Well, not as far as I'm aware in the universe. Possibly.
Make more sense to talk to her while she's awake. She might forget a dream when she wakes up. Fucking hell.
She might also wake up and go, "Oh, that was a cool dream."
Yeah, I wish I'd ended it having sex with him, but well, I got to hear his voice one last time.
I'm gonna go to Norway now.
No.
In a van, by the way. I'm gonna go to Norway in a van.
It's a Jeep.
In a Jeep.
In a Jeep. It will say on the recording.
Yeah. Anyway, so they make it to Norway, which is quite clearly Wales. Just
So Wales.
So Wales.
Just like the rest of the world. Doctor Who.
Very much Wales. Yeah, the Isle of Dogs looks a lot like Cardiff. Anyway, and she tracks him down to this one point that he's standing and giving a holographic message.
Yeah, somehow he's managed to project himself through the tiny little bit of a sliver left of this gateway, this crack between universes. Which does mean that he still needs to send it across the void as well, right? Okay, whatever. Let's not talk about the science
Please
of it.
don't.
Okay,
No.
what about the chat? So I really like, up until the I love yous.
Oh, really?
I really like, up until that, they have this fumbly thing where if you only had 2 minutes to talk to the love of your life, I'm not sure what I'd fucking say. Like, you just lose it. You just have nothing. I have all the things to say and nothing to say. And I'm into that as an idea. That was cool. Well acted.
It is super well acted. She's gone a 180 because not that long ago she was delivering a terrible performance.
David Tennant off the screen, I think, in this one.
Oh god, yes.
Until the I love yous.
I disagree. I really liked it. I rewound it. I was in the kitchen. I rewound it. I had to watch it again. It was beautiful. In fact, from this point on, from the point where it's like, alright, fine. I mean, it's also garbage that they went to the poorly translated Norwegian beach.
Yeah.
To, from this point on, my dick is crying non-stop. Okay.
Haunting description. I mean, what we haven't addressed with the ending is Jackie. Why isn't she horny?
No. That is now actually established. I have been vindicated. But, well, let's talk about let's do the chat first, because this is super important. Like, this is a monumental moment in New Who history.
Right.
And it has a conclusion that I know is going to happen somehow, but I cannot remember how or when. And I've made a mental note to ask you guys about this.
The Second Doctor.
Yeah. Isn't there a point where they sort of split off and there's like a human version of Tennant, right?
I thought it was here.
I thought it was here as well.
No,
I genuinely thought it was here.
much close to the end of his run.
Oh, really?
If not right near the end.
Maybe that is the end of his run.
Yeah.
Somewhere. But I completely forgot. I thought
back
it was
on that beach, isn't it? It's like the moment after.
Yeah, and I didn't get it. It's when she turns back up to help out for some fucking reason.
Really?
Yeah, she does. She turns back up with a big gun.
Oh, I totally don't remember this.
But anyway, the point is, I did the same misremembering as you did. I was like, when is this happening? When's the Second Doctor Tennant? But that's okay, I guess.
Right, so a few seasons left.
But yeah, the love you, I love you, the not I love you, as it were.
I liked it. There's also the point where, I mean, we've had a lot of Star Trek references in Doctor Who recently. There's a tiny little bit of it's not really a reference, but it is kind of a nod to Star Wars almost. There's that Princess Leia Han Solo moment between Tennant and Rose, where
I love you.
I love you. I know, it's like, I love you, and what does he say?
Quite right too.
Quite right too. Yeah. I love this scene. It gets
Do you know
really
who says
verklempt.
quite right too, as well? The King of France.
Really? In Girl in the Fireplace?
Yeah, in Madame Pompadour, when he says, what did she say in the letter?
Oh, he just says quite right.
Does he quite right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever. Quite right.
Quite right. It's very similar. Here he says quite right too. Like, quite right too.
Because it's the second time it's been said, yeah.
Holy shit.
It is bollocks. That's
It is nonsense.
Wait, hang on. How many syllables? Alright, no. Let's read into this.
Yeah.
I think it would be better if neither of us said it, but it was just implied, and we could all talk about it. You know?
No, I think it's perfect that he didn't say it, but I'm happy that she did. Oh, god damn it! It also adds that added, there's that added element of, oh, he didn't get to say it. He didn't properly have his farewell. If he had said "I love you too" and then disappeared, or "I love you too" and then not got to say "have a nice life," then fuck it. Then they've had a proper goodbye. This way they haven't had a proper goodbye, and we cut to him teary-eyed. What pisses me off is that this is that huge, I mean, it's a double feature dedicated to saying farewell to Rose. Yeah? And we cut immediately to, here's the next companion.
But she isn't.
I know, but that's not, you know that now, but at that point...
Yeah, we cut to the next storyline.
Exactly, we cut to the next storyline, and also we cut to another woman in the TARDIS.
Yeah, I'm into that.
I'm not at all. We cut to that from him saying, I'm going to travel on my own. The fact that we cut to anyone else... to me, that it undoes the gravitas that he
no,
see.
I like it, but it gives this extra thing is that must have been his life for the last 800 years. Saying goodbye to people and then new people turning up, and sometimes it's as visceral as that, or as sort of cutting as that actually, even when he says he can't, he needs to be alone. And the point of this is that he didn't seek this woman out; she was thrust upon him.
Yeah, but we also don't know that yet.
Yeah, he says that. He's like, what? He has no idea why she's.
Yeah, but we don't. Okay, my point is, I would much rather. I totally get that we need to set up the Christmas special, but I would much rather have had that Christmas special set up with something that is unpersonal. Like, let's say he's crying and all of a sudden the TARDIS starts to shake and he opens the TARDIS doors and there's just like space and lasers and shit going down outside.
See,
Boom, cut to Christmas special.
I like how jarring it is.
You know what they could have done? They could have had the Doctor, he got the tears down his face, he steers the TARDIS off somewhere new, and then you have the credits, and then there's a post-credit scene where suddenly Catherine Tate appears. I mean, it wouldn't be as jarring, but it would also give him 30 seconds to grieve.
That's a good way of phrasing it.
God,
he has no time to grieve.
I forgot
In fact,
a bit.
we have no time to grieve.
I forgot a bit. So the Doctor really hammers home that Rose has been declared dead back home. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you're dead.
It's so weird.
I checked the obituaries.
It's so
and stuff.
inappropriate.
It's like, oh, we've got your death certificate here. Would you like a copy? Is that
All your friends, they think you're totally dead.
You're dead. And I've not corrected them. I could.
No. Yeah.
Because they're now aware of an interdimensional, this multi-string theory, aliens and stuff. I could comfort them, but I won't. We had a wake. It was great.
It's incredibly inappropriate.
I don't understand why he keeps labouring the point. She gets it.
Well, no, it's because it's the loophole by which Rose has been able to say, this is how I officially died by a registrar's error.
Yeah.
They should have just omitted that.
They should have just omitted that, and
They could have switched it with, this is how I left this Earth.
Yeah.
Done. Alright, so let's talk about the other thing that happens in this tiny scene, or the revelation. Okay, so... the two revelations. One, she is not back together with Mickey Ricky. Or if she is, then man, is he an understanding boyfriend.
Yeah, although, I mean, not to validate him being that of an understanding boyfriend, but it's not something anyone on Earth will have ever gone through. It's not like, oh, he left me for another man. It's like, left me for another demigod, with his own time ship thing. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, I'll let you say farewell to him and then whatever.
Then we're cool. I understand this weird blip in our relationship because you went out with a god for a little while.
Okay,
I'll get that.
That's a very good point. I stand corrected.
He's playing the long game.
Fair cop. Number 2, Jackie and Pete are back together and Jackie is pregnant.
Did you see that roaring fireplace in their parallel house? Who wouldn't bone down in front of that?
Oh, they went to bone down. They had a good time. The problem that I have with this is that, you know what it is? It's like, my wife died, or my husband died. Turns out, they have a twin. That'll do.
Yeah, basically.
It's not a twin, though.
No,
it's someone who turned left at a junction instead of right at some point.
Yeah, but that's everything, isn't it? That's you and your twin. You were born in the exact same place at the exact same time, but you have different... You do different shit.
I find it actually kind of gross.
Yeah.
It's really, really gross. It's worse than... I mean, imagine Pete Tyler, whom we met in Father's Day. Imagine what Pete Tyler, let's say there's an afterlife or something in Doctor Who at some point. We still haven't got it in Capaldi times, by the way. But let's say at some point we do get that. And Pete Tyler looks back or looks onto the Earth and goes, well, for fuck's sake, Jackie, you replaced me with the other version of me.
Okay.
I wouldn't be flattered if I were Pete. No. I would be horrendously offended.
Again, if you're Jackie, there's quite a lot of... Not all of the same elements... But quite a lot of the same elements of the man you fell in love with this new person.
Including his name.
I mean, if you've ever, there are some people that have a type or find certain things attractive in particular traits in people. It would stand to reason that she might find some of those in Parallel Pete.
Oh, she probably would. Yeah. But it's still kind of gross.
Yeah.
From his point of view in particular, I mean, he must view Jackie as like, oh, wait, you're a much less high maintenance. You're a lower maintenance, more down-to-earth version of my dead wife. Great. Let's bone down. Let's get you preggers right now.
But then...
Fireplace, schlong, check.
To be fair, they've been through some stuff together. They've bonded over, impending doom.
Still disapprove.
Okay, whatever.
Droot, Arbiter, fix this.
I can dig it. I mean, they've both been moseying along very lonely for the last 20 years thinking about the person they lost.
I'm going to say, love has no rules.
Yeah, so what about the love of your lost companion?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, Pete loved his version of Jackie. In honour of his Jackie. Is she replaceable?
Like I said,
there are no rules in Love and War.
Yeah.
God damn it. God damn both of you. Alright, here's a... Oh, sorry, go for it.
Well, I mean, he could have just married anyone else. Obviously, he didn't. But people do that.
Everyone deserves love. What's wrong with you?
Do you reckon that...
I mean, do you really
I'm
think...
not saying that they don't deserve love. I'm just saying it is absolutely gross.
Do you think they really think they're going to go, this is a
Morally,
technicality?
I mean, it is morally gross.
No.
Okay, so... Alright, question. Total tangent. Let's please wrap up this episode.
Yeah.
Is Jackie Tyler pretending to be parallel Jackie?
Oh, in the new...
In that parallel universe where they're now
Yeah,
living?
probably. It's too hard.
And Mickey Ricky as well. Mickey must pretend to be Ricky.
Well, he does that, though. He outwardly says that, doesn't he?
Oh, he does?
Yeah, when in Age of Steel and stuff, like, he tries to pass it off initially, doesn't he, I think?
I can't remember.
But yeah, no, I think just he subsumes his life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reviews.
This episode is even more chocker with plot holes than I had realised before we sat down to talk about it. It is ridiculous. Let's not even list them. Dalek segment, blah, 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 parallel universes and nipple clamps. But... That should have been the B-scale, by the way. That being said, I don't hate anything about this episode, but I am taken out of it by about 40% of it. Some of the silliness, the jolting performances by Rose in particular, the I'm not going to do this, oh, alright, I'll do it. All of those things, absolutely ridiculous. But towards the end, skipping everything else that is illogical about this, towards the end, I really like this episode. The Bad Wolf Beach, that scene... It's worth it. It makes it completely worth it. I think they have a wonderful farewell, and I'm almost a little bit scared that it's going to be undone by the fact that later on he duplicates himself in some way. I only remember that, well, we discussed it already, but I'm almost afraid that the power that this scene lent their relationship is going to be undone. Either way, absolutely loved it. I'm going to give... Actually, hang on. Do you guys remember what we gave the last one?
You gave it a 4, I gave it a 3.6, you gave it a 1.9.
Really?
Yep.
Well... Oh, balls. Alright, well, I'm discounting for crying Cybermen and logical inconsistencies. I'm giving this a 3.7. It's as close to 4.0 as I said before for the last one, but for completely different reasons. It's the ending, really, that elevates this rating. The rest of it, very meh. Done. 3.7.
Okie doke. Well, basically, I agree wholeheartedly in its sort of mixture. The writing was essentially so self-consciously trying to build up to this emotional ending that it stopped to give service for the actual fucking episode that you have to do to get... So you can have the payoff at the end. Payoff was well done, but all the steps leading up to it were hackneyed to a fault where, like you said, I kept slipping out of the story. And it's like, okay, so what are you trying to show me here? What am I, what heartstrings are you trying to tug, essentially? So I keep it short and sweet. I go up from my last one, so because of the sort of departure of Rose and all those sort of cool things. 3.2.
Nice one.
Okay.
Druid.
I made you go first because I wasn't sure going first whether you guys would diverge, and I'm going to copy your score completely. I also
nice.
give it a 3.7. You
Fantastic.
stole my score because I let you go first. Again, in this episode, the pace zips along, there's lots of quick scenes and cutting, but it's good instead of jolting. Some of the science is utter garbage. And of course, everything set up in part 1, like the clamps, predictably comes true.
Yeah.
Yvonne would have been better off just being killed at the end of part 1. That could have saved us some cringing.
Or in this one. Just don't come back.
Yep. But there is a good mix of action and characterisation and some, obviously at the end, very strong emotional scenes. The SmackDown was better in terms of chat than fight. There was a slight air of pantsness throughout, which I think is what you allude to in being taken out of the story. Like Jake is taking the lift. Ha ha ha, we laugh at this point, whatever. But some of the acting was really good. Some of the directing was really good. And I do think it has the edge over the previous episode, which I gave a 3.6, so this gets 3.7.
Nice one. Oh, well done, us.
Okay.
We nailed that season.
Holy crap, yes. That was season 2 of New Who. Next episode, Runaway Bride?
Yes,
In New Who?
Christmas special.
Christmas special. Wow. Our 3rd Christmas special on Who Back When, our 2nd Christmas special in New Who. Interesting. Chaps, how can the good people of Podcast Land find you guys online?
Please don't. No. At Nikulele. Nikulele.
Sort of like ukulele, but with Nick.
Sort of like ukulele. Yeah.
Yes, I am at Drew Back When.
Here's a soundbite of the past version of you singing how you spell that.
I am found at Drew Back When, because it sounds like Who Back When. Thanks, me. Leon, how are you found on Twitter? People want to know.
Well, my friends call me Ponkin in podcast land, and that's what I am on Twitter. Here's a soundbite of JD singing how you spell that.
Ponken, Ponkin.
Thanks, JD. Next episode is going to be a Classic Who review. It is The Faceless Ones with Patrick Troughton. Very, very cool one, by the way. Super, super cool one. Next New Who one is...
The Runaway Bride.
Kablamo! And the next Audio Who is...
We're in Dawn.
Absolute shit.
So you might hear JD on 2 of those 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And JD has promised that he will be back for the next season of Tennant. So, post Runaway Bride. Holy crap. Thanks for listening. Catch you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.
Goodbye.
Oh, there's more to it? Okay.
Oh, I thought you were
You're not saying goodbye or anything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You
Such
usually
a
go...
selfish prick, man.
Bye.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting as well.
Let's leave that.
Yeah, end it on ka-chow.
Kablamo! Did you enjoy the show? Then please do what the cosmos compels you to and spread the gospel of Who Back When. Tell your friends. Don't have any friends? No problemo. Tell some strangers. Like us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Who Back When. All in one word. Are you on Google Plus? Then find us on Google Plus. That's plus Who Back When. And when you do, tell us why you're on Google Plus. Who Back When just got its very own Twitter account. No lie. So give us a follow. You guessed it. That's @Who Back When. All in one word. Check us out on SoundCloud, vote us up on Reddit, listen to us on Stitcher, and head on over to our website, whobackwhen.com, where you can leave a comment, submit a review of your own, and peruse our visual index of aliens, monsters, and more, which increases in kablamos with every episode. And lastly, give us a rating and review on iTunes. Not only would it make us super chuffed, and it really, really would, but as thanks, we will transmigrate your iTunes nom de plume into the credit list of trailers for fake Doctor Who audiobooks produced by Who Back When. Have a poke around our bonus episodes to make more sense of that. That's it. Rock on and be rad and excellent to each other. Catch your earballs in our next Classic Who review, New Who review, or, still funny, Audio Who review. Ciao.
Who Back When?